Hello everyone, my name is Simon. I'm the main developer behind Visual, and today I wanted to show you how the character module work and how to set up really quickly dialogues and narrator and all of that. So let's get started. The first thing you'll want to do is to click on module here and enable your character system. Once you do that, you will have a lot of options. There's basic mode and advanced mode. I would leave it to basic mode for now. This decide the default animation on how the portrait appear for your sprite. So either the fade in, the slide, that means if they're on the right, the slide from the right. If they're on the left, the slide from the left. You can have both slide plus fade, so the slide and fade at the same time, or nothing, which means just a cut, right? In this case, I would make slide and fade. That's animation duration, how long it takes for each character to show up. So we'll make it a bit shorter. Animate removal, this is on by default. This means that the sprite will also animate back when it goes away instead of just cutting out. This is the variation transition. That means if you swap a variant of your character, for example, if the character is idle and then smiling and all of that, how does it goes from one variant to another? By default is none, so it cuts from one to another. That's narrator background dim. What it means is that you have the possibility to dim character, so leave them on the screen while another one talks. So if you have a dialogue one against another, you don't have to remove the sprite from both character. Instead, you can have one dim when it doesn't talk and then bring back and the other one dim and all of that. And that's how much is being dim. So in this case, I will lower it to 0.5. And then the sprite position, it's basically where the pivot of your character are. If it's only top character, for example, the chest only and the head, you'll want it to be not centered, so it will start at the top of the frame. But if they are long and tall and you want them to go behind the text, then you can turn that on. That's for the center position. You have also right, left, but you also can choose center. And center either can come from the bottom or just fade only. So you have different option for the center character than you have for the left and right. In this case, I would do a fade only. And then the layout setting. You have a text border or full text. And then you can add your character. And to add your character, you go here and click on add character. You have 32 by default that you can add. If you need more, you can adjust that, but by default is set up to 32. So first you need to give it a name, and I will call it Lyra. And then I select a sprite. So in this case, I have this pack here. I will take her, the archer. And then you have a color for her name. So I will change that to like a light green, I think she's, yeah. And you have also a sprite transform, so you can adjust the scale or the offset, push it depending on how you set up your sprite. You want to have different adjustment on top. And finally, you have variant. Variant is basically, like for example, she's smiling. So that will be Lyra smile and select a sprite. I think it's this one. And then I'll add another character, Ren, select the sprite, adventure. And then I'll change this color. Actually, it's pretty good orange. And I'll add one variant, and I think is shy. Select. Okay, and that's it. Now you click apply. So all of that is saved. So now if you were to create a story tile, and if you don't know how to do that, please watch the getting started video. You click drag and release. And then here you will see that your story mode is completely different than what it was before the character module. I have two more buttons. And this button are basically dialogue or narrator. And the way it works is basically you can add as many as you want within a single story type. So first of all, let's add a background really quickly. I'll add this one. And then let's add a narrator. Lyra and Ren arrived inside the temple. Okay, and then I'll add a dialogue, and when you do that, it will ask you to choose, okay, which character you want. So I will say Lyra, which variant, I will say default, and which side of the screen. In this case, I will say left. And I will say, wow, this place is huge. And I will click keep on screen. And that's what I meant with the dim. So she will dim when another character will show up. So I'll add another character. I'll take Ren. I'll leave it on the right. and I will say, I wonder where the monk is. Okay, I just added that. We can add more, but for now I will try to show it. And then if I click play and start, you will see that it starts automatically. First is the narrator. Lara and Ren arrive inside the temple. Then you have a continue button. So if you click, Lara shows up. Wow, this place is huge. If I click again, she's dimming and he shows up. I wonder where the monk is. Then you click and that's where the choice button happens. So let's add more of those. So in here, the choice, I will say look around or wait for the monk. I create 2 new story tile and the same. I have the dialogue and things. So here that would be look around. Audio is looking around the temple. And then I'll add a dialogue. And again, you can also switch to like rich text. I would really look at the video, the other video about that, and I would keep it. I will say Lara. I will say left, and here I should say, look at this, Ren. And then I will select this and put it in an orange color. All right, and then add one more dialogue, Ren, and say, what did you find? That will be our first one. I'll save, and then I'll add the background as well. Let's do this one. And then here I'll add a dialogue. I'll start by the dialogue this time, Lara, and I'll say, I wonder where he is, because she's looking for the monk. And then I don't use the keep, so she will go away, and then the narrator will say, they waited for over 2 hours. And then the last dialogue, and I will be Ren. Let's move out of here. All right, and then I will put Lara on the left and save that. And I will actually change Ren to be in the shy mode. So now if I play, the narrator, Lara and Ren arrived inside temple. Hey, wow, this place is huge. I wonder where the monk is. Look around. Switch, audio is looking around the temple. Look at this, Ren. So you see the color. What did you find? So now let's go back and try the other one. Also, you can also go back step by step with just character. The rewind button actually do all the step. Wait for the monk. Wonder where he is. And then she goes away, and then the narrator. They waited over 2 hours. Let's move out of here. So this is basically how you build your whole dialogue. It's just step by step. You can also reorganize them. You can delete them. So it's pretty straightforward and it's pretty quick, or you can get something. And that's about it. And if you have any other question, let me know. This module works also with inventory, with the conditioning. If you watch the conditioning video, all of the modules stack together and work together. So they don't compete with each other. They basically enhance each other. As usual, if you have any question, please join our Discord. My DM are always open. Visual is free. It's alpha 60 now. We are moving fast. You can download it on our website, visual.space, and please come check out in the Discord. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with it. Thank you.